Hi, my name is Charlotte Harrington LLMSW, or Limited Licensed Master of Social Work. I'm a therapist at Stillwaters Counseling, and today's video is to give support and ideas for activities and things to do during the quarantine. Many of us are facing a new challenge in ways in which to spend our time. Whether you are an essential worker or a parent or caregiver home with your children, trying to teach them while balancing unemployment or working from home, or those of us simply struggling and wishing to manage and maintain our mental health. This video is made in hopes of supporting you and giving you ideas of ways to spend your time. In the beginning of the video, we're going to talk about what we value and how doing a values assessment can help us structure our time and brainstorm activities to do. Why am I talking about values, and what does that even mean? Values are what is important to you. And so by asking you what your values are, it's a way of intentionally thinking about how to spend your time. For example, if you value kindness and helping others, then maybe daily or weekly, some of the activities you may want to do are ways of volunteering or helping others in a safe way during the pandemic. If being active or going outside is important to you and one of your values, then you might want to pay special attention to ways to move your body or get outside in nature. So what do you value? What is most important to you, and things that you might want to do daily or weekly? Now is a good time, if you have a place to write down some of those things that you value. Mine are socialization or connecting with others, productivity, kindness, and finding time to go outside and be active in nature. Once you've decided what your values are, we can begin to share and discuss the activities today. I was a preschool teacher for 5 years, so a lot of the activities have an early childhood base. I also studied teaching reading, so that's something I'll talk a lot about when I talk about literacy. The first set of activities are those for people who wish to find ways to explore being creative. One thing that we did often when teaching preschool was we'd put out tinfoil and either oil pastels or paint or crayons and let the children explore. This is an activity people of all ages can explore and enjoy. You can create a shape with scissors and cut out the tinfoil and then color it or design it or decorate it. Or you can simply let the child create and mold and make it into something. You can also make new crayons by taking old crayons, peeling off the paper, which is a really, really good fine motor activity related to the muscles that help you hold a pencil when you're drawing. Once you've peeled your crayons, you can smash them up and put them in an oven-safe mold. Turn the dial on the oven to 200 or 275 degrees, anywhere between there, depending on how your oven works, and heat it up for 10 to 20 minutes. Once all the crayons have melted, then turn off the oven and let it completely cool. It may take up to half an hour to an hour. Then, when it's all done and you take them out, you'll have new crayons. Another creativity expression you can do is by making chalk paint. One recipe I found requires baking soda, paint, and water. 1 cup of baking soda to 2 cups of paint to 3 tablespoons of water. Mix and enjoy the new chalk paint you've created. I haven't tested this out yet, and I'm not sure if it washes away in the rain, so you may want to stick to paper or things that are safe to paint on. If you want to explore musical interest during this time, you can find your old instrument that may be lying around your house, gathering dust. There's plenty of things on YouTube that will help you practice. You can also look up music and dance classes. If you're interested in learning Zumba, even for children, Parade.com had a wonderful article about free ways to exercise in Zumba classes. They published on March 25th. If you are interested in ways to work on literacy, I have lots of ideas. As I mentioned before, I was a teacher and I was a tutor, and many of the children in my class or that I tutored complained that literacy was too hard, didn't feel confident, or they simply didn't enjoy it. I think part of the problem there is that oftentimes literacy is done in a way that's not fun or interesting or engaging. So it's important to find a way during this time that you can enjoy literacy based on your interests and your strengths. For example, you could write a letter of gratitude or thank you to a service person, your mail carrier or nurses or doctors, or people that are essential workers and on the front lines during COVID-19. They would really appreciate a letter of thanks, and it's a great way to practice your writing skills. You could also write a letter or draw a picture to a family member or a friend. You could do an interview for them as well. Write down questions ahead of time, such as, what is a favorite memory of yours? Or what is your favorite thing to do during COVID-19 at home? You can send the letter with the questions to them in the mail. You could email it, or you could call them on the phone and ask them, or do a teleconference video call, whatever works best for you. You can write down their answers and make a report about them. It's a great way to practice literacy. If you are nervous about reading out loud, you can practice many different ways that are a lot less scary. For example, you could read to a houseplant. They need oxygen. They produce oxygen, and when you produce CO2 from talking, it helps them grow. So not only will they not judge you, they'll love the story because it's going to provide them with CO2. You can also read to a pet or a younger sibling or even a stuffed animal. Another thing you can do involving literacy is creating a play with shadow puppets or perhaps making your own puppets. You may wonder, why is that literacy? But telling a story and using speech or dialogue is a great way to practice your literacy skills. Finally, I have a few other ideas for this video that are not quite in a category. And I think I'm going to have to make a second video because we're going to run out of time. But I saw some really fun, creative ways to use your time online lately, and I'm going to pull up a picture for you. But there's a Michigan resident who actually has a lot of squirrels in his neighborhood, which I'm sure many of you do, and he created a restaurant for them. So he made picnic tables, and he put food out, and he even made a tiny menu, which is really fun. So think about who's in your neighborhood and what creative thing you could do to support them. Another person on Facebook actually made replicas of famous paintings for her guinea pig and made a guinea pig art museum. I apologize about the quality, but as you can see, her guinea pig is visiting the famous works of art. So which type of small place could you replicate or create for pets or neighborhood animals, or maybe even insects or toys in your neighborhood or home? Please be sure to check out part 2 of our video, where I'll give even more ideas and ways to reach your goals for how to best use and support your time during COVID-19. Thank you and stay safe.